What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crypto Crossroads. And in today's episode, let's talk about LightLink and its connections to Alibaba and CP Group. And we'll also talk about Alibaba's affiliate company known as Ant Group, which will be adopting the USDC stablecoin. So before we get started, do me a quick favor and hit the like and subscribe button, and we could get the show started. Alrighty, so let's outline the video so you know exactly how we're gonna flow. And first, we'll talk about Alibaba and Ant Group and how Ant Group is going to adopt the Circle USDC stablecoin, and how maybe Alibaba's Ant Group is also linked to Lightning. Then we'll talk about the connection between all three companies, CP Group, LightLink, and Alibaba, in efforts to tokenize real world assets and many other things. So, without further ado, let's get the show started. All right, so let's kick it off with the Coindesk article titled Alibaba founder back Ant Group to integrate Circle's USDC on his blockchain. And this was published on July 10th, 2025. Now, it's really important to know that Ant Group was actually created by Jack Ma, who is the founder of Alibaba, right? And at one point, Jack used to own the entire company Ant Group. But according to Reuters, uh, on around April 28, 2025, they reported that Jack Ma and Alibaba only control 33% of the Ant Group, but they're still closely affiliated as they utilize the same payment processing platform known as Alipay, right? So now let's go back to the article and cover the things that we should know according to CoinDesk. Now, the first thing is the Ant Group is about to adopt the USDC stablecoin on its proprietary blockchain once it receives US regulatory approval. So, Ant Group blockchain was launched around 2019, 2020, I believe, and Lightning was launched in 2022. But Lightning's parent company established itself in 2017. So, I'm wondering, since Alibaba and Peller Technologies and Lightning's co-founder Roy Hui are connected in several ways, I'm just wondering if just maybe Lightning or Peller were involved in the development and current state of the Ant Group blockchain. So that's something to ponder about. Now, the second thing that this article wants us to know is that the Ant Group blockchain already supports digital currencies, including tokenized assets. And the third thing is that these tokenized assets are from various financial institutions, and Ant Group processed more than $300 billion worth back in 2024. And that is a huge amount of money. Now, you might be wondering, okay, so Alibaba's Ant Group is working with large financial institutions. So, could we get an example of that? Well, the Coindesk article gave us an example at the very bottom right here of the screen. And according to Coindesk, one of those institutions is the People's Bank of China, which were providing the digital currency CBDC, which is the digital yuan, on the Ant Group platform. So we know that Ant Group is connected to China, right? The government. And it's a worldwide company. And they're trying to even expand their empire furthermore because they are going to be applying for a stablecoin license in Singapore, Hong Kong, and Luxembourg, according to Coindesk. But if you look at the very top, then you'll see that in that Ant Group actually processed more than $1 trillion in global payments last year, which is 2024, and a third of those transactions happened on chain. It happened on the Ant Group blockchain. So again, circling back to the idea or possibility that Peller and LightLink could could possibly be involved with Ant Group, that would be a huge play, right? That will make LightLink super bullish outside of what it's already doing. So in the past video, I talked about the connections between Alibaba and LightLink, but I'm going to cover them again just briefly with some additional information that will wrap everything up, and then we can make some connections. So let's go back to 2019 when Monash University held an event for innovators and entrepreneurs, right? And they had three keynote speakers. One of them was from Amazon, the second one was from Tesla, and the third one was Roy Hui, who represented Peller Technology. Now, again, a quick reminder: Roy Hui founded Peller Technology in 2017, and later in 2022, he founded LightLink. So this event took place in 2019, right? And these are the speakers: Amazon, Tesla, and a Peller representative, which is Roy Hui. So let's go ahead and take a closer look and see what we could find. Well, according to the Monash University website, Roy has built numerous e-commerce businesses in Australia and around the globe since 2006. So right now we're on 2025. So easily, Roy's been doing business for about 20 years, right? Now the university continues to state that Roy was following his passions to connect global brands to Chinese consumers. He founded Market Engine, providing an end-to-end e-commerce solutions to reach Chinese consumers. Market Engine currently works with more than 50 brands across Australia, which is where Roy Hui is currently at, New Zealand, Canada, Denmark, and the UK. Roy spent most of his time working with various businesses, exploring the best growth strategy for China. Roy currently operates from Melbourne, Australia, and Hangzhou, China. And I believe that Roy Hui is originally from Hangzhou, China, right? But he is currently in Australia where he attended university. And he, as of 2019, he had a strong emphasis on China, which is exactly where Jack Ma lives and Alibaba is established, right? And if you pause the video, you'll notice that Roy Hui has done many things in the gaming sector, social media companies, and even started his own Silicon Valley in Melbourne, which is called Silicon Beach, which is kind of like a hub where he has business meetings, and I'm thinking that he picks businesses from that hub and he accelerates them and then deploys them on Lightning, right? So it's a nice little ecosystem. But this is about Lightning and Alibaba. So let me show you guys a clip where Roy Hui talks about Market Engine and a quick recap about that company. It pretty much connected different countries and different companies to China and Alibaba. It allowed Alibaba to scale its business by translating the Mandarin and Chinese language to other languages such as English, and also converting the prices of the items listed on Alibaba from Chinese currency to any other currency in respective to the buyer. So with that said, let me show you guys this clip where Roy Hui talks about Market Engine and its integration into Alibaba. Let's take a look.
So we built a e-commerce company. We're licensing e-commerce technology to many larger enterprise customers, and then that evolved into a cross-border e-commerce company where we took brands around the world, Australia, New Zealand, the UK, Canada, into Asia, predominantly into China via Alibaba. And that was about 2015. Our e-commerce journey went quite well, and we had Royal Mail in the UK helping us to grow around the world, and we exited that company around 2017. So we built.
All right, so that was no other than Roy Hui talking about Market Engine and Alibaba. And here on the screen, I have another picture of a woman named Olivia Romero, who is actually a co-founder of Peller and LightLink as well. Right now, we based on that video, we know that Market Engine was facilitating e-commerce business worldwide, not just for Alibaba, but also multiple Chinese companies. Now, it's real important to know that Market Engine handle a lot of things for Alibaba, such as customer support, uh, shipping and returns, anything regarding products and purchases. But also they focus on uh, payments, I believe, and also the supply chain and logistics. So now bear in mind, this was around 2015, way before Peller, way before Lightning. So Roy Hui and Olivia exited Market Engine around 2017 when they sold the company to the Royal Mail, which is actually kind of like the equivalent to the US Post Office. But the Royal Mail actually was owned by the United Kingdom government at one point, right? Now, all those things that Market Engine was doing for Alibaba are things that Lightlink can do, but now Lightlink does it cheaper, faster, and more transparent. So, my question regarding this topic, is it possible that that since Roy and Olivia exited Market Engine and moved on to build Peller and Lightlink, is it possible that both companies are creating applications and deploying them on the Lightning Network? There's a possibility, guys, but we're not done yet. So let's go take a look at another connection between Roy Hui and Alibaba. Okay, as you guys can see here on the screen, there is an image that I have highlighted, and essentially it reads, in 2017, Alibaba Group and BKN Bank formed the first hybrid bank with its own cryptocurrency. It is an ordinary bank as well as with a cryptocurrency. The creator, Jack Ma, is the founder of Alibaba Group, as in the project took part such as Microsoft, IBM, HSBC, and it's not posted here, but MasterCard, Visa, and the Australian National Bank were also involved. Now let's continue. The head of the bank, the nephew of Jack Ma, Roy Hui, is the executive director and founder of BrickIon, which is the BKN Bank, the world's first hybrid bank. And Roy Hui previously created Market Engine, a technology company that provides the largest global e-commerce initiatives in China, right? And if you skip to the very bottom of this image, it reads that the founder of the Chinese stock exchange was actually part of the BrickIon team. As you guys can see here on this image, the third picture to the right is Wang Pei Zheng, who was the founder of the Chinese stock exchange and was part of the Roy Hui team for BrickIon. Now, whether or not Roy Hui, the founder of Peller and Lightning, is the nephew of Jack Ma is up for debate, right? Because this is something that was posted on the internet. But we know for sure that the BKM Bank did exist at one point, somewhere around 2017 to 2019. So, and it was partnered with Alibaba and some other companies that I'm going to show you right now. So, here at the very top, there is a screenshot from the BKM Bank website that I found on a YouTube video, and it highlights that it was powered by Market Engine, IBM, Microsoft, HSBC, Alibaba Group, of course, the National Australian Bank, PwC, which is a top accounting firm, and Visa. You see, there's a lot of big connections, and MasterCard as well, as you can see here at the bottom left. Now, I don't know what happened to this Brick Ion Bank that Roy Hui was leading with the help of Jack Ma and his partners, but to me it seems like it mysteriously dissolved or disappeared, probably due to financial decisions, or maybe the Chinese country itself told them to shut it down. But I really don't know, guys. But let's do a little recap so far. But we still have a lot to cover. So far, we covered three connections between Roy Hui and Alibaba's founder, Jack Ma. The first one was Market Engine, the second one was Brick Ion, and the third is the allegation that Roy Hui is the nephew of Jack Ma, right? Now, we do have a fourth connection that involves not only Alibaba, but also the CP Group, which together will be tokenizing intellectual property, real world assets on top of the LightLink network, right? So, before we get started, we need to see the family tree of CP Group before we talk about the big collaboration. So this is something that I covered in the past. It's a family tree for CP Group, and as you guys can see, CP Group has many subsidiaries such as TB Media Global and MQDC. They are founded by Jawan Watt and Mrs. Ariya Varamp, who this woman is actually the youngest sister of Supachai Chiravanant, the CP Group CEO. And of course, that makes her husband the brother-in-law of Supachai, right? So what CP Group did in 2022 is it acquired Roy Hui's a blockchain solution company known as Peller. And then after this partly acquisition, they created LightLink around December. Then what happened is around 2023, I believe, the CP Group subsidiary TB and MQDC decided to invest a couple $1 million into LightLink. And then these two CP subsidiaries created at least four different metaverse projects, known as the Crown Token at the bottom left, Translucia, the A Dot Marketplace, and Mitaria. And all four companies actually work together. It's a big ecosystem that is being developed by Peller Technology and powered by Lightning. So you can see how deeply connected Roy Hui is with the CP Group. Now, one thing to know, Mitaria is a metaverse project, and Roy Hui is the CTO of Mitaria. So again, that's just to show you guys that Lightning's co-founder is really like intertwined with this family. And of course, you guys see Velo on the right side, who the chairman is Chachabat Jaravanon, cousins to both Supachai and Mrs. Arijabaramp, right? So now, without further ado, now that we understand the family tree and Roy Hui's connection to this family, let's talk about Alibaba and TB Media Global. All right, so as you guys can see, uh, Alibaba and CP Group subsidiary TB Media Global created a partnership, and they celebrated with the ceremony in October 19, 2023. So let's take a better look at that picture. And according to this article, and I mean, you guys could see it in the picture, the man in the middle was the Thai Prime Minister, Sareta Tavizin, who was there to announce uh, for the announcement of the groundbreaking partnership, right? Which was a multi tier strategic partnership and innovative cooperation. Now, I know you guys see the headlines Alibaba and CP Group subsidiary TB Media Global, but just know that if you read between the lines, you'll find out that LightLink is going to be powering this collaboration. Let's continue. All right, so it was mentioned that there are three different collaborations or three different emphasis within this partnership. And the first one is the strategic cooperation focuses on three verticals. The first is the collaboration in AI, artificial intelligence, and virtual human development, right? So let me pause there. Both Alibaba Pictures and TV Media Global create entertainment, movies, TV shows, and even music. So this first collaboration of AI and virtual human development will be regarding uh, that very intellectual property that these companies own, and they will be creating AI avatars that people could interact with in the metaverse, right? You'll be able to ask those characters questions, and they will respond to you uh, within their own personality. Now, let's move on to the second emphasis, which is uh, focus on the film and television distribution. So, both companies will leverage their connections in China, Thailand, and worldwide and distribute their collaborations, right? So that's pretty bullish. Now, the last collaboration is the joint creation of intellectual properties, IP. And essentially, Alibaba Pictures and TB Media Global will be co creating characters, movies, TV shows, and possibly music, right? So that's interesting to know. Now, before we make the connections to Lightlink, let me show you a picture of the ceremony. And as you guys can see here in the middle, we have Jawang Watt, who is the founder of TB Media Global. To the left is his wife, who is the founder of MQDC. And then to the very right is the CEO of CP Group, known as Superchai. Now, I I'm bringing up this collaboration between Alibaba and CP Group because it's all regarding entertainment, TV shows, music, and movies, right? It's all intellectual property that is going to most likely go on top of the Lightlink partner known as Translucia, which is a multiverse composed of very multiple metaverses where people can shop, people can play games, people can uh, attend classes, which, in my opinion, MIT will be participating in lecturing classes and so forth, right? So, what's going to happen is all the intellectual property owned by TP Group's TB Media Global and its partners are going to be tokenized on this multiverse and its partners, right? So, I mentioned that there is Mitaria, there is the A.NFT marketplace where you will be able to buy these intellectual properties and also Crown Token. So let's go ahead and talk about the Crown Token website. Okay, so we are here on the Crown Token website, which is a subsidiary of CP Group, and it's the first. It claims to be the first token that is tokenizing intellectual properties with the help of the A.NFT marketplace. And you guys can see that the technology partners for this company are various projects. You see Mitaria, Translucia, Animoca, Sandbox, and many more. But none of these companies here actually create blockchain solutions nor deploy them on a network outside of Peller and Lightning, which are two companies that are symbiotic, have a symbiotic relationship, right? Peller Technology creates the solutions and then deploys them on Lightning. So, just based off this image on the website, we know that LightLink and Peller will be powering this whole ecosystem. Now let's go ahead and see the entertainment portion of this partnership. And it's clear to see that many companies are involved, but the ones that just jump up and grab my attention are Alibaba Pictures, which we cover the partnership between it and CP Group. We also have Tencent, which is a huge Chinese company, one of the maybe top three in China, along with Alibaba. We also have Warner Bros., Lionsgate, and Jackie Chan's film company, right? And these are all companies that will be tokenizing intellectual property assets on this translucent metaverse that is powered by Lightning. So, in other words, due to all the connections, all these companies will be tokenizing on top of Lightlink. You know, that's just us connecting the dots and reading between the lines. Now, let's move on to see the strategic partners of this crown token. And of course, we're not surprised to see that CP Group, True Corporation, MQDC, DTGO, True Digital Park, TB Media, Rabbit Moon, Shellhut, Tree Roots, and all these other companies are backing the crowd token because these companies, most of them to my knowledge, belong to the CP Group subsidiary. So, in a nutshell, all these partners will be tokenizing assets on Lightning, right? So let's go back to this map just to get the clear picture again, do a quick recap. But before we do, actually, do me a quick favor and hit the like and subscribe button and go ahead and leave a comment regarding anything you found interesting in this video, anything you think that I missed, anything that you think I should cover in the future, even if it's not regarding Lightlink, Peller, or any CP Group subsidiary. You know, anything you want me to cover, go ahead and make a comment down. And let's go back. Let's go back to that infographic. All right. So to do a quick recap, CP Group partly acquired Peller in 2022, and Peller is the parent company of Lightning. So, in a nutshell, CP Group partly acquired both Peller and Lightning, right? And CP Group is utilizing these two companies to power TB Media Global and MQDC subsidiaries, which are Crown Token, Translucia, ADOT, and Mitaria, right? And there's other various connections between Lightlink and MQDC regarding tokenizing real estate, but that's a whole different topic that we'll get into in another video. Now, we also talked about the CP Group and Alibaba partnership, but it's important to know that Roy Hui from Peller and Lightlink has multiple connections to Alibaba, and Alibaba's affiliate company and group actually invested in Ascend Money, which owns True Money. And if you go to the very top right corner of this chart, you can see that at one point, Peller and Lightlink had employees from True Digital and True Digital Park. And at the current moment, only one True Digital employee remains with Peller, I believe, right? And he serves as the board of director for Peller Technology. So I say that to say that maybe in the future, Peller and Lightlink will be involved with True Corporation in some capacity, and also Ascend Money, which owns True Money, right? But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I know, typically I make maybe like 10-minute, 15-minute videos, but this video had to get out in one shot, because I didn't want any of the information to get lost in between videos. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. It's out of my norm. Maybe it'll be a video that you guys will pop in during a commute, that you guys can listen between rides, and just hope that you guys find this information helpful. It's never financial advice, but as always, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Remember that God is good. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.